Hey guys, it's Chloe, and today I am here with a brand new video. We are doing a very exciting video today. I talked about this a little bit on Twitter, kind of to like gauge interest in it, I guess, see if people would be interested in it. Normally I would do a poll, but I didn't do a poll this time. I just kind of presented the idea. As far as coming up with video ideas, I have not really had some good ones lately. I haven't been able to come up with fresh ideas for this channel, especially right now in the beginning of the year. Seems like there would be plenty of videos to post at this time of the year, but I haven't really been one for like favorite books of X year, or least favorite books of this year, or whatever. And I briefly thought about doing that, but I only needed one video to fill up January, and this is that video. So today we are revisiting all of my anticipated release videos from 2017, and we're going to talk about whether I own it, whether I don't own it, read it, didn't read it, if I did read it, what I thought about it. This is similar to Lala from Books and Lala's Closet Unhaul, except I'm not going to be reading the books if I didn't read them. I also kind of did something similar on my own. I didn't film a video for this, where I looked back at my last future reading plans video from months and months and months ago and saw whether I actually read the books or not. I know I think I posted 4 anticipated releases videos last year. If I can edit this right, you guys will be seeing the same exact thing I am watching, although if you've been on this channel long enough, you'll have watched it. So the first one we're going to be looking at is my most anticipated winter 2017 releases. Alright, and here we go. Hey guys, it's Chloe, and today I am here with a brand new video. I never wear my glasses in videos. What is this? Normally I don't wear my glasses in videos because Alright, here we go. So let's go ahead and get started with my most anticipated winter releases. My first anticipated release is Carve the Mark by Veronica Roth. And okay, so we're starting off pretty good. I do own Carve the Mark, and I have read it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. I think I either gave it a 2 or a 2.5 stars, but I do own it, and I have read it. So far, so good. My next anticipated release is Wires and Nerve Volume 1 by Marissa Meyer. And okay, alright. I do own it. In fact, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it, but I own it, and if you know me and you know my obsession with the Lunar Chronicles, of course I've read it. My next most anticipated release is By Your Side by Casey West, and this comes out also on January 31st. I'm pretty sure at the time of filming this I actually had the ARC for By Your Side, and I since have read it. I read it in an audiobook, and I think I gave it, it's Casey West, I probably gave it like a 4 or 5. This is good. Every book so far I have read, and this is only the first of 4 videos. So far so good. 2017 is King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard, and this comes out on February 7th. Own it. I own all of Victoria Aveyard's books so far, and I have read it. I also did listen to the audiobook, and this series has gone downhill for me. I don't even remember the rating I gave this. It was probably a 2 or a 3. It was probably just okay. Okay, so those are all of the books for this first one. That was not as many as I was thinking. Okay, so now we are going to watch my most anticipated spring 2017 releases. So the first one I am really excited for is a graphic novel, and it is Saga Volume 7. Read it, and I already have a hold for Saga Volume 8. So we are good so far. The next book that I am excited for is Alex and Eliza, a love story by Melissa de la Cruz. I have read this one, and I own it, but I can't reach it. Oh, and I forgot to say about Saga Volume 7 is I don't own it, but I've read it. So Alex and Eliza, I own it. It's way up there. I've read it. It was actually a Once Upon a Read-Along book way back in early 2017. And the sequel comes out this year, which I'm also excited for. Next most anticipated release of April is The Adjustment by Suzanne Young. Okay. We have reached one that I have not read. I don't even think I own this one. Okay, so I don't own this book. But the thing is, I love that duology, that original duology so much. I don't know why I haven't read the entire series. So I think in 2018 I should reread the main duology and then continue on with the series. Because I think the last one comes out this year. The last book of April that I am anticipating is Once Upon a Time, Regina Rising. I do own this one, and I have read it. This was another Once Upon a Read-Along book sometime last year, and I have read this. Love the TV show. Love these books. So, again, only one so far that I haven't read. First, most anticipated release of May that I'm looking forward to is A Court of Wings and Ruin. Own it and read it. It was the June book of the month for Once Upon a Read-Along. Probably the fastest I have ever gotten through a book of this length. This thing, while it's skinny, it's huge. Surprisingly, it's huge. Because it's like 700 pages and I read it in a week. And I ended up loving it. And I'm not going to say my thoughts on the whole trilogy because y'all know my thoughts. And this is really the only one that I like the entire thing. But read it, loved it, own it. So far, so good. Next book I am excited for May is Ramona Blue by Julie Murphy, and this comes out on May 9th. Okay, I love Julie Murphy's writing, but I have not read this one. I don't even own it, so I don't own it. I haven't read it. I really want to read it. I'm actually reading her debut novel this month for my unwrapped book, so you'd think I would read this. Plus, her new book, Puddin', comes out this year, so I need to read this one too. Next release of May that I'm anticipating is Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare, and this comes out on May 23rd. I own this beast of a book, and I've read it. I'm caught up on all Cassie Clare books now, thank God. And I'm excited for Queen of Air and Darkness that comes out this December. We have 11 months to get to it, but I'm excited. I read this book on audiobook, and I loved it, and that cliffhanger, oh my god, that cliffhanger. The last book I am super pumped for is When Dimple Met Rishi, and I actually cannot remember the author name right now, but this book comes out on May 30th. So, this, I remember that when this was announced, I wasn't really excited for it, and then the hype for it got me excited for it. I do own it. It's way up there where I can't reach, and I have not read it. But it is one of those books that I really, really want to read, like, in the next couple of books. So when I find like I have an empty space where I can pick a book off of my shelves and not something like it's an unwrapped book that I have to read or a book of a month that I have to read, then I'm going to read this book because I really, really want to read this book. And her new book, From Twinkle with Love, comes out this year too. So I want to read her first book before I read her next book. So that was the last one, and now we're going to watch my most anticipated of summer. The first book I am most anticipating is Bad Romance by Heather Demetrios, and this has already come out. It came out on June 13th. Good start again. I have read this book. I do not own it, but I have read it. It was a Once Upon a Read-Along book, probably that month that it came out. I don't remember what I gave it. I think I gave it a 3.5 or a 4, but I remember I did this live show with Trina from Between Chapters, and I remember this book being really slow and so dense, but I finally got through it, and I think I'm pretty sure I ended up enjoying this book. I remember enjoying it, but I don't remember the star rating I gave it. Next one, which is Because You Love to Hate Me, edited by Anne-Marie. I own it, I have read it, but I have mixed feelings on it. There were stories that I enjoyed in here and stories that I absolutely did not like. Like most of the books that I am talking about, this was a Once Upon a Read-Along book of the month for some month last year. I remember the stories I did enjoy were the Adam Silvera, Nicola Yoon, Marissa Meyer for sure. Cindy Pond's story I enjoyed a little bit too. But this book was surprisingly disappointing for me. A lot of the stories I didn't like, but a small handful of them I enjoyed. I probably gave this like a 3 or a 3.5 as like overall. The anticipated summer release is Lucky in Love by Casey West. Okay, I have read this book. I don't own it. I'm waiting for it to come out in paperback, which won't be until like June of this year. And it's Casey West. Of course I enjoyed it. And finally moving into August, and the final book that I'm going to be talking about, the last book, is Wonder Woman Warbringer by Leigh Bardugo. I own it and have read it. It was a Once Upon a Read-Along book towards the end of last year, and it was not what I was expecting. I think a lot of people were expecting the movie, which I kind of was not expecting that same timeline, but at least around that time, and it wasn't. It was a younger Diana, and I ended up enjoying it. It's the first in the DC Icons series. I've done good so far with this video. There's only like a small handful that I haven't read. And now we're going to be watching the last video of the 4, which is my most anticipated fall 2017 releases. Is Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. So, a lot of you know I'm not caught up on Sarah J. Maas, at least the Throne of Glass series. I do own this book. I got it for my birthday. It's way up here in a pile of books that I'm not going to pull out because it's a pile of books. And I have not read this book, because I'm just not caught up on the series. And I've talked about it enough, and that's my story. The next most anticipated release, which also came out on September 5th, is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Surprisingly, I do own this book. I actually got it from Christmas for the same person who got me Tower of Dawn. But I haven't read this book. I mean, I just got it for one. But I have actually never read an Adam Silvera book. The only thing I have read of his was his short story, Because You Love to Hate Me. But this is another book. Since I have it now, I want to pick it up very soon. Also came out on September 5th is If There's No Tomorrow by Jennifer L. Armentrout. Okay, this one I don't own. I haven't read, but I haven't read a lot of Jennifer L. Armentrout's books. I've read her most recent stuff, like The Problem with Forever, and I haven't read anything of hers since then. The next release I'm anticipating is One Dark Throne by Kendar Blake. Okay, you might know that I tried to pick up Three Dark Crowns in like December, but it was really weird and I ended up not finishing it. I DNF'd it for the time being, so obviously I haven't picked up One Dark Throne yet. I also don't own it. I almost bought it when it was discounted on Cartwheel at Target, but I didn't end up buying it and I'm glad that I didn't. The September release I'm anticipating is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. I do own this book, because I actually went to her signing way back in September and I had to pre-order it to go to the signing. So I own it, I just haven't read it yet. I know that these are set in the Grisha-verse, but they're not related to any of the characters, and I know that these are fairy tale retellings, but for some reason I really just want to read the Grisha books before I pick up this one. I don't know why, I just do. I've started Shadow and Bone. I never finished it, but I'm going to be finishing it in February for a thing that I'm doing with my TBR. The first book of October that I'm anticipating, which I think a lot of contemporary fans are anticipating, and if you like John Green, yeah, you're anticipating this, and that is Turtles All the Way Down by John Green. I do own this book. I have not read it yet. But again, one of those things that my books just fell over. One of those things that I want to read very soon, just haven't picked it up yet. My camera's dying, so I want to hurry up and finish this video. That I'm anticipating is Harry Potter, A Journey Through a History of Magic. This is done by British Library as well as J.K. Rowling. So, I have not picked this up to read it yet. I also don't own it yet. I don't know why I haven't picked it up. I just haven't. Probably will soon. I honestly don't know. Harry Potter related, and it's Harry Potter, History of Magic. Again, by British Library and J.K. Rowling. This one, I learned this after this video. I think that this book and A Journey of a History of Magic are the same book, just a different title. I think this might be the UK version, and the one I have seen in stores has a different cover than the one even before that, but same title. So I think this might be the UK version of just the same book. So that being said, I don't feel bad about this one. First most anticipated release of November is Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This owned it, read it, loved it. Cannot wait for the second book. The last November book that I'm anticipating is War of the Cards by Colleen Oakes. Okay, so this came out in November. I don't own it. I own the first two, but I don't own this one yet. And I haven't read it yet. I think I got it as an ebook from the library, but I never actually picked it up because I forgot about it. but I haven't read it yet, but I still want to read this very soon. Final book that I am anticipating for fall of 2017 comes out in December, and that is Ever the Brave by Erin Somerville. And okay, so funny enough, I do have this book. I actually have an ARC of this book that I got in a Books for Trade a couple of days ago, and it's way over there on my bed. But I do own this book in an ARC format. I haven't read it yet because I just got it a couple of days ago. The only reason I even anticipated this book in 2017 was because I read the first book and I didn't like it, but it left me on enough of a cliffhanger that I wanted to pick up this book. That's hilarious that I completely forgot about this. But yeah, it's an ARC format over there on my bed. And that was the last book of my anticipated releases. I think I actually did a fairly good job of reading my anticipated releases. Down here I will leave the amount that I read and the amount that I didn't read. But I think I actually did a good job of reading all of my anticipated releases in 2017. I really actually enjoyed this video. I want to do this like as a yearly thing, so maybe in 2019 I'll look back at my 2018 anticipated releases and talk about that, or maybe I'll do one halfway through the year because I'm doing 2 anticipated release videos. Yeah, this was fun. So guys, that's all I have for this video. If you want me to continue doing this in the new years, comment down below and let me know. And if you have any video ideas you would like me to do or video recommendations you want me to do, leave that in the comments down below as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you'd like to check out my vlog channel, Cloessence, it's linked in the description below. And if you like what you see here, please go ahead and click subscribe. I post new videos every Wednesday and Saturday. So click subscribe so you can be updated for when I post those. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!